James T. Hodgkinson, the would-be assassin from Belleville, Illinois, has been killed at the baseball park in Alexandria, Virginia, where what appears to be an attempt to assassinate as many Republican lawmakers as possible. The incident occurred early in the morning hours when Mr. Hodgkinson appeared at the baseball park where a charity baseball practice session was going on. The Republicans hold this baseball charity event once a year when the game is actually tomorrow. They were having a practice this morning, and Mr. Hodgkinson appeared at the event along the third baseline outside the fence, and he proceeded to ask someone at the event, were they Republicans or Democrats? This person answered the question and told him they were Republicans. Mr. Hodgkinson proceeded to kill as many people as possible. Failing to do so, he injured a Republican lawmaker, a couple of his aides, 2 police officers, and fired multiple rounds, 50, 60, maybe as many as 80. Police arrived on the scene, subdued the killer, the would-be killer, and killed him. So this is a prime example of how the left, the very, very far left, has been either influenced by or has been directed by certain fringes of their political party to commit violence. We saw a bunch of protests during the campaign, and I understand emotions run high during campaigns, but who was committing the violence? The left. We saw a whole lot of demonstrations that have taken place over the last year, protests, riots, and who's committing the violence? The left. Now, this particular man had been from Belleville, Illinois, had moved into the Washington, D.C. area approximately 5 to 6 weeks ago, and had been reported by police for firing 50 to 60, maybe 70 rounds in his backyard as recently as a few months ago up in Illinois. He was a licensed gun owner, a very active member in the Democrat Party, served on Bernie Sanders' campaign trail as a volunteer, had several pages in his Facebook page that are connected to community organizing, community activist type pages. This man was a active member of what I consider the very extreme left, which has turned into a separatist, extremist organization. He recently signed a petition with change.org to petition former presidents to call upon Congress to conduct an independent investigation into Donald Trump and his supposed unproven facts about Russian investigation, collusion, whatever. So this man was highly outspoken about Donald Trump and his administration, and a very avid Bernie supporter, which just brings to light the fact that he was from the left. Now, are all Democrats very violent people? No. Are most Democrats intolerant of the right? Yes. Do some Democrats actually have an open mind and willing to hear what's going on the other side, as do Republicans? Yes, absolutely. So we can't blame the entire left for this incident or other incidents. What we can do is continue to focus on the group in the left that is the violent, extreme part of it, which is ever growing in numbers. So, with this attempt to assassinate some 20-some Republican lawmakers, what do you say? Do you say it's time for them to stop? Do you say it's time for the federal government to look into this? Do you say it's time for the media and Hollywood to silence their rhetoric or tone it down with their very, very wild accusations against Donald Trump and their calls for violence? The Hollywood elites who basically call for the assassination of Donald Trump with impunity. The elite Hollywood people who continue to call upon their followers from the left to commit acts of violence against the right and the administration with virtual impunity. People like Madonna saying she wants to burn the White House down. It's crazy. It's just turned crazy. The left has continued to do these sort of things over the last couple of years with virtual immunity. Impunity. Just continuing to do that. Nobody says anything. Nobody does anything. It is okay for the left to do these sort of things, but it's not for the right. Something has got to change. It's going to have to come to an end. And there are many, many people that say the actions from the left, the very far extreme left, the rhetoric from the Hollywood people, the continued bashing of Donald Trump from the media has created a situation where people who are potentially violent listen to this and believe it's true and act upon it. But there are also people who say that these sort of things will spur a civil war. Retired Secret Service agent on Fox News comes out and states that civil war is probably imminent. A couple of weeks ago, several people have said that this is leading to a level of violence that we've never seen before, and it is all started by the left. Should we continue to accept these sort of things from the left? Hell no. Should we continue to push back against it? Hell yes. Will we continue to push the message of freedom, truth, and liberty? Yes. Are we going to be intimidated by people like this? No. Are we going to continue to seek justice for the victims who fall victim of violent left extremism? Yes. Parts of the left have become an extremist organization and could be labeled as terrorists just by their actions. If you can't see this and you continue to ignore the facts, you're blind. If you are unwilling to see the truth, you're blind. I implore you to open your mind and see this for what it really is. A potential assassination of 20-something congressmen. This is not just some crazy left-wing nut job. He had a plan. He was attempting to implement it. And it was genocide on the baseball field is what he wanted. A virtual baseball bloodbath. Should we accept this sort of thing and not speak out and just rise above it? No. Will we continue to speak out against violence like this? Absolutely. Because now is the time to either come together and condemn this sort of violence and then move forward with a common purpose, or things won't change. They'll continue the way they are. The right will continue to push their message forward and do what they think that is right for America. And the left will continue with their violent extremist actions. Separatists, extremists, terrorists. You might say, Johnny Jetrod, you might be putting out some very harsh words. But you know what? If a gunman shows up at a baseball field where congressmen are and attempts to gun them down, firing multiple rounds with an AK-47, in any other country, it would be labeled as a terrorist action, no matter what his party affiliation would be, immediately. So I have to just call it for what it is. Left-wing extremism, separatist terrorism. That's my commentary on this. I hope America continues to see the light, move forward, and shed the light on what it is for what it is. We cannot continue to ignore the facts. Thank you, America. My name is Johnny Jetrod, reporting for you for Populist News.